Okay, I think the intro music is going. Our engineer over there can hear it. We're getting the nod.
Excellent.
Yes, this is 8 p.m. Note. I'm Sam Irvin in Irvin Music Studio in Asheville, North Carolina. This live stream happens weekly on Wednesdays, and I have invite on different Asheville musician guests to chat for an hour and jam for an hour. Sometimes I do a little block up top talking about what my small company does and why I'm doing this live stream. But today we're going to hop right in with a new setup here that we're trying to test out. So luckily we got it happening right at 8. I figured out this mic situation that I'll talk at length about if my guests think that's interesting. Let's start. I've got Ben New returning to the show, drummer Dr. Bacon.
Hello, everybody.
And Chris Tullar,
Yes.
from oh my gosh, Carpal Tullar is your band, among others.
Yeah, got a few going. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Oh, I didn't realize that I'm going to have to constantly sort of, hello. Yeah, you're in also the Rocky Horror Picture Show cover band, right?
Yep.
We've had a few guests. Troy Crossley was on. Kate Bryant is a friend, and Andrew Thelston,
Right.
and Aurora Wim,
I believe.
yeah, is coming on soon.
Okay.
Yeah, how long have you been with that since the beginning?
Yeah. It's the Rocky Horror Music Show, so it's a slightly different title because there was the Rocky Horror Show, which was the play or the musical, and then there was the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is the movie. The idea is that this is just a music show. Although they do act out the parts. I mean, they act out. It's an abridged script.
Yeah, I went and saw it a while back at Asheville Music Hall, but I didn't know any of the dance moves, so I just got bumped a lot. It was really I got
Well,
cajoled.
it's just a step to the left. A jump to the left and a step to the right. So that's all you have to remember.
To the left when I should have
Jumped rather than stepped, or vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really fun. Everybody there was loving it. People are huge fans of that.
Yeah, that was a cool show.
Were you a huge fan of the
I
musical?
saw the movie for the first time about a week before that show.
Okay, gotcha. It's a cult
And I
classic.
purchased the movie, and I've only seen it once.
Mm-hmm.
But I
feel
mean,
like that's enough.
It's a weird movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the music is epic. Music
Meatloaf is awesome. R.I.P.
Meatloaf was kind of the beginning of Meatloaf, really. And Miles, which is a member of Dr. Bacon, is an awesome Meatloaf. Very cool Meatloaf.
Small city.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a couple other Dr. Bacon guys on since I saw you last. Michael and Gornto, Crawford.
I watched that episode as it aired.
Oh yeah,
It was good.
that was fun. That was a fun jam. That keyboard rig is stellar.
Intimidating.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Nice. Well, I am really excited about today. We have an engineer for the first time, and so I don't have to
Thank you, MG.
Yes, thank you, MG. And so I'm a little bit more free to only freak out with technical issues before the show, and then sort of focus on you guys during this talking portion. So no more tradition of checking the levels, because I'm sure MG would tell us.
I'm not sure if the camera's level, though. We look a little crooked.
Oh, the Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
I mean, you said checking the levels, and I was looking for levels there, so. There we go.
There we go. Absolutely, yeah.
That's the
Thanks for
last
looking
technical
out,
issue.
Mr. Tullar.
It's the last one.
Your music is super polished and well produced. I was curious how you put it together. Like what, you said you record all the stuff yourself, right?
Yeah, and never really the same way twice. Well, close to the same way twice, but I'm always like, the drums get mic'd different every single time. I don't have anything set up, I've got like just not very many microphones and not enough cables. And
Mm-hmm.
I've got like I've got like 6 microphone cables and not enough mics. And so I mean, yeah, it's always a little hodgepodge. But I just do what I can with what I have, and then fix it all later as best I can. I mean, it's really like mixing is really the big kind of monster of it for me.
What DAW do you use to mix?
Use Cubase, which I thought was common, but apparently it's
Yeah, I don't know anything about Cubase.
nobody uses Cubase apparently.
That's what we use to record our rehearsals and studio stuff too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
It's pretty common. People use it a lot. Yeah.
I believed you. I just don't know anything about it.
It's I don't know.
It's very similar to Pro Tools.
Yeah,
As far as layout and
like a
interface
digital
goes.
console, basically.
Yeah.
So I do have this interface though that I bought used, and it came with like just thousands and thousands of dollars of plugins. It carries plugins on it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had all these like all the greatest plugins, and then like I was fiddling around with the little setup thing, and I pressed some button, and it like took me to the web page, and it was like register or something, and all that stuff was gone.
Oh no.
I had to start all over with effects.
That's
So
tough.
please send me effects.
Free plugins.
What?
Say it again.
Please send me effects.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, did it not come through?
No, I did. I just wanted.
Oh yeah, this is Carpal Tuller requesting charity effects.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Specifically Cubase plugins.
Yeah, I mean now because now I don't want plugins on that interface anymore because obviously that's a tenuous situation.
Mm-hmm. What plugin? Do you have a favorite plugin? Like
I did.
any?
Yeah, I had a few favorite
What's
ones.
that? So this was recent that all your plugins got annihilated?
It was thankfully after I finished my last album. But now when I open any of those files, like if I want to remix it or something, then it's all that stuff's gone.
Yikes! That's nightmarish.
Well, my second album I did with this guy who we did it on video software. This is a long time ago. He just worked at a video editing place, and so we recorded like on videotape, and then like the first bass track was videotape, and then I would go back and record to the videotape every time.
Okay.
And we had like 8 tracks or something, and so we had I mean it was ridiculous. But at the end of it, like we exported it to the CD or whatever at the time. And then he was like,
From VHS.
he was like, this is taking up. He was like, this stuff's taking up a lot of room, and he just deleted it, all of the tracks, the whole album.
The guy who's working on the album said this album is taking up too much
Well, it was
room.
just my friend, and he was working on, his video editing was his thing, but it was like space, memory at the time was more precious than it is now or something. He was like, oh, this is 4 gigs. We gotta get rid of this.
Okay, so you
And
went
I wasn't
through
there for
trials
that
and
decision.
tribulations
Yeah.
of recording.
Yeah. So I'd like to remix that album, but
It sounds like it's a miracle that you've gotten these albums out.
yeah.
How many of them do you have out? Because I just went to your Spotify and had like it on shuffle or
Yeah, they're only
hits.
like 4 or 5 available, but because the first 3 are kind of spotty. Sound wise, they don't. The video one, there are 2 video ones that don't sound very good, and then it's like me on 4-track and stuff. But I have 8 albums.
That's a lot of albums.
And the last one is called Or, which to me means 8 because did you ever do that like potatoes, like to choose who's on what team? You ever do that? Like so like 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4,
Oh,
5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, Or. And Or was usually the person that wasn't it or whatever. And that was the eighth thing,
okay. This is-
So the album is very inside joke because most people say more anyway. I asked a bunch of people. No one said Or except for me and like the guy who erased my videotape files. He's the other guy who said Or. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. But it's kind of a cool sounding name to me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the multiple meanings. Do you mind that
it's
double
like
entendre
I mean, you
and,
could you could be like this is raw materials or something. I don't know.
yeah.
It's not refined, right?
Does it have an E on the end of it? Or
It does. Yeah. So yeah, you could say it's not refined.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Great. Did you catch that, MG? Okay.
Should I say that again?
Yeah, multiple camera angles, the new mics, trying to get 3 of them happening at the same time. Thanks for bearing. This is a big day. Oh yeah, and you guys are here last minute because the original guests are here for had to cancel for some reason. I want to keep it mysterious.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe they got abducted by aliens or something, or they're in prison.
Likely.
With a.
Were there very many of them, or
There is a folk duo.
okay?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
There's it down.
Uh,
About a few thousand.
They got folked out. No, I mean you can see who it was because I canceled I had advertised it. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
excited, more excited to have you guys.
But you wouldn't tell us now.
Oh, shucks.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we got-
telling you
we
guys
got the
why
text
they
yesterday
canceled.
about.
Oh no, but who they are.
Oh, the hill climbers.
Okay.
Although they're brothers and their last name's Nagel, and the Nagel brothers seems like a great name for a folk duo.
Yeah.
The hill
That'd be hard
climbers.
to spell, probably.
Or a great name to open up a bagel shop. Nagel's Bagels.
Absolutely,
Ooh.
yes. They're from
Nice.
Cincinnati, which apparently is built on 7 hills. I do a little bit of research. on
Wow.
my guests.
They got that Skyline chili. Good shit.
That's right. You were telling me about all the chili selections.
Yeah.
Any
On the
updates?
last podcast, we talked about Skyline chili a little bit.
That's right. The various chilies on tour. Do you have any tour food that or go-tos? Do you tour for your albums very much?
No, I've never toured. I mean, I've maybe played a couple nights in a row in Asheville.
That counts.
I mean, I
Stewart.
I like just playing in Asheville. I don't even really like playing in Brevard too much.
Mm-hmm. I'm from Brevard, so
we're
I
lucky.
mean, no, I like playing in Brevard a little bit.
I don't like
have-
running into people from high
The
school.
scene in the city is such where you can have a couple gigs a week in the same town. And
Yeah.
hey, that's
Somehow,
that's
yeah.
not the case in a lot of places.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys feeling good about this summer? Are you lining stuff up? Have you?
Not well, no.
No. Okay.
Send me gigs too. Effects and gigs.
That's good. Yeah. We'll put a link to your stuff in the to
I don't want to saturate the market. That's my excuse.
to not gig as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall be very sparing of the amount.
Make them want it.
Yeah. So, what about Dr. Bacon? You guys.
Our schedule's filling in. January is pretty light. We had one gig last week, and we're off for the rest of the month. But we started tracking 2 singles, and we're writing. We got 4 new songs on deck that hopefully we'll be able to have as new songs to play next time we play in a couple weeks. Our schedule for the summer's filling up. We got a run with Bells Bartok in the Carolinas and New York, Massachusetts coming up, so that's exciting. Love those guys.
That's cool. Do you have any shows in Asheville?
Yes, the 11th of February we're playing with Bells Bartok at the Asheville Music Hall.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, what a solid venue.
That's my living room here in town. I love that place.
Yeah, one left still standing. Well, West Asheville seems to be getting annihilated. The Moth Light and ISIS is gone now. And somewhere else just
That other listening room. What is the name of the listening room that was made out of a church?
Ambrose West.
Right, and then they've made it into something.
It's something else now.
Yeah.
Apparently it's still a venue of sorts, but
With a bar in the basement still.
I would hope so.
Well, I just thought it was. I thought people were a bit miffed that they had to go downstairs. Maybe and that's why they closed. People are too lazy to go get there.
I have to walk down steps.
Yeah, and then up them though.
Yeah, coming up's the harder part, especially if there's a line on the stairs. Yeah, I hadn't been to that venue, I don't think. Would the line go up the?
No, it wasn't ever crowded in the stairwell.
It's truly a listening room though. I mean, it was nice. I like listening rooms.
ISIS.
Yeah, ISIS is a great.
As a performer, they had some of the nicest gear and most professional staff to work with that I've experienced in town.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's a bummer to hear that they're not around anymore.
Yeah, it was a goal of mine to play there, which, I mean, it could happen, but
It could become something
they
else.
could
I
come
don't know
back.
what's
You don't
happening
know,
with it.
but-
Yeah. ISIS 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's been around for very long, 10 years or so.
Let's see what else. What
How
else?
about you,
guys?
Sam? Is your schedule filling in for 2023?
It's not, thanks for asking. My last wedding gig of 2022 was December 30th, and I was like, oh, finally I get to sort of relax and regroup, and I've gotten into a really good flow and working on the album that has been taking me forever, and whittle it down, and the end is in sight for that. And so I've been pouring hours into that every week rather than maybe doing the marketing that I should be doing to collect more of those. Because I play mostly corporate events and weddings and stuff like that on classical guitar.
That's what your album is, classical guitar?
No, the album, I'm writing it all out in sheet music before I start recording, and it's for drums and bass and keys and trombone and flute and violin and guitar and vocals. And each song includes all that full instrumentation, but and trumpet. But so since I play guitar and trumpet, the guitar and trumpet never happen at the same time, because I'm trying to think about keeping it,
Physically being able to do as a performance.
Yeah, and same with the flute and trombone and keys, because I had a performer in mind for that. That I probably won't be playing with now. So I think all of that will be subsumed under, synths and keys and stuff like that. But it's really eclectic and like a pastiche, sort of like John Zorn or Mr. Bungle, I think, sort of stuff. And skips around.
Ah, yes. Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle, I think he's back, right? Mr. Bungle just put out a new album.
Mike Patton?
Mm-hmm. I thought.
Maybe.
I might.
I don't have my finger on the pulse of the current releases, but that's exciting if so.
Yeah, it'd be good. I know. Eventually, I'll be like, all right, MG, play us the new Mr. Bungle slice, but we haven't set that up yet. So Dr. Bacon's recording some new stuff, and you guys record every practice, right?
We do.
And so does the songwriting come from those practice jams being refined by?
We're working on doing that, because part of our rehearsals every time is an improv circle. I think I probably mentioned this last time, or I'm pretty sure Gore and Michael talked about it too, but every time we start a rehearsal, somebody starts a jam, just like a repeating phrase. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be, but it has to repeat. And once you repeat it a few times, the person next to you starts add to what you just did, and until everyone in the band is playing, play it all together for a few phrases and then stop, and then the next person starts. And it just really helps get the juices flowing. And having all that recorded, we do plan on taking bits and pieces of these riffs and mash them together and making songs out of them. But so far, that's not what we're working on.
Gotcha. I guess either way, it does come down to one person sort of taking the initiative and saying yeah, I put these things together. Let's what can you guys add to this?
Yeah, something like I have these combinations of riffs that I think would be a good song, or I have this concept vocally I would like to explore. But there's still, even with one person bringing something to the table, there's still a lot of collaboration that happens to complete a song.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so interested. That's so curious to me, because I'm always just by myself writing the stuff. And I feel like that is your experience with your personal work too, right?
Yeah.
But you mentioned playing drums for somebody else, the long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Is that a long distance relationship of a band, or are they local?
I think it was at one point. I think that's maybe where that came from. That's Dave Baker and he's the same thing. Like he records it himself, and he plays what he can, but then he'll get someone to come in for drums and lead guitar, and occasionally like I'll play piano parts for him or drum parts for him or something. So he does collaborate, and it's almost always he sends you a track, and so it is never. I don't think he does. He records live, but only just one person at a time, I think. So it's kind of similar to my process, except for he has more people involved.
Right. I think I see what you're saying. Like, he sends you a track of the
Rough mix,
drum part, and then you spice it up, or he sends you a track of.
No, he would send me like a rhythm guitar and scratch vocal with a click track or something, and I play drums to it, and then I play piano to it, or something like that. Or usually I'm not the drummer; it's this other guy, Chris Tullar. But as a matter of fact, I don't record with him that much. But he's about to finish an album. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's got some good stuff on there.
Okay.
Can't plug that.
Can't plug what?
Can't plug something you don't know the name of.
Oh, that's true. Long distance relationship. Second album.
Album 2.
Their second eponymous album.
I'm trying to think of the last time I collaborated with anybody. I mean, I play with other stringed instruments for these events, violinists and such. I collaborated with a bunch of students for the recital recently. That's a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Waiting for them to play the next note so I can execute the next chord. Yeah. Who is on? So what are we going to do for the jam a little later? I was thinking about my last couple of guests where my last guest was a singer-songwriter, and I was sort of noodling over them. And that's a tough collaborating place for me to jam, because I always feel like I'm sort of stepping on their vocals, as I'm noodling. I'd be down to do that improv circle. We could start there. I think Michael and Gornto and I did that for our jam a little bit.
It would move pretty fast with 3 people, but with 6 it makes the jam a little bit jammier.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Let's not do that. How long have you been in Asheville? Ben and I know each other from UNCA a long ways back. Have you been living here for a while?
I've been in town for like almost 21 years.
So not that long.
No, not very long.
Yeah, it's still fresh.
I'm a North Carolinian by birth, and I've always lived within a few miles from I-40, except for 2 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Where did you move here from?
Winston-Salem. I did go to, well, you weren't from the Boone crowd, right?
I was not. I've spent some time playing in Boone even before I was in Dr. Bacon, but I've never lived there.
I've never been to Boone. Still, I've been here my whole life. Is it worth it?
You like to up here, Sam.
I didn't grow up in Boone. Should I go?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's very crowded now.
It's a cool town. It's a college town. It's more college than town.
Yeah. When I was there, and this was 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, the population in the summer of Boone was something like 14,000, and then it doubled in the school season. And now I think both of those numbers are quite a bit higher.
I wouldn't be surprised if it had doubled. I mean, Asheville's population in the past 10 years, or the past 20 years, is enormous. It's out of control.
It's palpable.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, when I came to town, I mean, you probably remember Montford being kind of a hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I lived there for a while because it was cheap.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not anymore.
It's run down.
Yeah, let's see. 21 years in Asheville. I'm trying to think back to what I was up to 20 years ago and what Asheville was like. Yeah. I wasn't going to see shows that much. The Orange Peel was still here. I don't know what other venues have been around for that long.
Grey Eagle was here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been here the whole time. It was after Be Here Now. I don't know if you remember that place. Is that
No,
the name of the place?
I don't
In
remember
Asheville.
that.
I think that was the name of it. To Be Here Now. Yeah. But my cousin went to UNCA back in the 90s, and he moved out of Asheville just like 2 years before I moved to Asheville. And so years later, I got my carpal tunnel group together, and we started practicing. And like maybe the second or third practice, they said they'd been went to UNCA, and I was like, oh really? When? Same time as my cousin Jesse, and I was like, well, who's your cousin? So Jesse Richards. And they're like, oh yeah, I played music with that guy. And like all three of them did. And then the third guy was like, yeah, I lived with him for 2 years.
Okay.
And so then ever since then I keep meeting people. They're like, oh yeah, I played music with your cousin. So
And your
there's a
cousin
little bit of a heritage, I guess. That's fulfilling. Weekly.
playing music with some UNCAians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're rampant here.
Yes, a lot of us stick around,
Yeah.
I think.
It's a good town for music.
Yeah,
Baseline.
that's true. It is. Yeah. But your cousin didn't stick around?
No, he's in San Francisco. He wanted life to be more expensive.
More expensive than Asheville, yeah. The choices are slim, but San Francisco does it.
Yeah. How can I do this?
Francisco, Denver, New York City.
Ben, I meant to ask you last time about your drum set, because you sat down at my drum set. I was like, if you change anything, please put it back. And you're like, I'm not going to change anything because it's a challenge. I appreciate the challenge to play on other people's drum sets. Like it was some huge challenge to lower yourself to my drum set.
No, just you get used to having your simple
CD baby somehow.
Yeah, no.
So it's like every single time I upload a video, I'm
It's back.
like a copyright thief.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and we can engineer a smooth edit around that.
I don't know what's up with that. The YouTube stuff is really complicated to me.
Yeah.
Are we back?
I think we're back, and
I think the Instagram people got their feelings hurt.
sorry, Instagram, if anybody's
Instagram
watching
guy.
there.
If your platform allowed us to stream via OBS,
It would've been
OBX,
OBS.
OBS.
OBX is the Outer
It's the Outer
Banks.
Banks, that's right. Well, then you would have had technical difficulties too. So you're welcome.
Yes. Before our jam, remind me, and I want to record it with Pro Tools simultaneously with OBS to make sure that we get our tracks direct in without going through the platform, the streaming platform, and then we can patch that all together with the video after the fact as I edit this down. I want, ideally to slice these down from the 2 hours, and take out all my ums and make a podcast with the jam in there. That'd be nice. Edited, put some effort into it. Yeah, we'll see though. I'll at least edit these two together. So but we don't know when we lost the conversation on the drum, so there's no way to pick it back up.
Yeah, we were getting to where we were going to is the drum cage, where you would, you would be somersaulting on the stage or something. Like
Like Travis Barker. Yeah, Tommy Lee.
Yeah, or
You
like-
strap yourself in, your drum set turns upside down, catches on fire.
Yeah, I saw
someday.
Yeah.
I saw Alex. I saw Van Halen a long time ago, and his drum riser, like, I mean, it was so anticlimactic. It had lights on the bottom of it, and it just raised while he's doing a drum solo. Just went like this, raised, and it was probably like, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet high or something, 15 feet high,
Mm-hmm.
with just lights on it. Which we all knew that there was the possibility of like swinging and rotating and all this stuff. So I was like,
When's it gonna happen?
You raise the thing? That's not exciting.
Thumb down.
Yeah, you need more than
Chris
that.
Tullar.
Solid meh.
Well, tell me about your rig. Not to put you right up against your critique of this rising drum.
My drum rig?
Yeah, or just I like your primary gig, I guess. Your keys in general. Like, what are you mainly just working with your keyboard? I saw one pedal over
No,
there.
not very. I mean, I usually decide what the song needs, and I record piano some, and I record a lot of guitar. Lately, I've been more. I like to get into more like, guitar ground. Like, lately I've kind of wanted to write glam rock songs and stuff. But like, my most recent song was like a dance song, and so that was like, I would start with a MIDI track or something, beat maker kind of thing, and then I just kind of add things as they're needed, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The first track is always the most difficult for me. And what I do is I get like so I don't play well to a click, and so what I'll do is I'll make a beat, and I'll record the whole song to this basically shitty beat, MIDI beat kind of a thing, and then come back over it with drums. I feel like that's the most natural thing for me. I mean, it's good to record drums first, but if later I'm like, oh, a delay that was like exactly matches the tempo of the song would be nice, then you're out of luck if you started with a drum track with no click or anything.
Yeah, the beat detection has come a long way, but you can't always trust it.
I mean, for me the hardest part is hearing. I just can't ever, like getting everything so I'm not blasting myself, and I can still hear enough to play decently.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but that's really difficult for me.
Yeah, I like laying down stuff with a click. I like how easy it makes editing afterwards, rather, I should say. And in order to play along with the click, I have to have a sound that is incredibly abrasive, like one of those things that sounds like electronic ripping,
Right.
something like that,
Yeah.
and really loud. And it's not enjoyable to have to do that, but that's what I need to do in order to play accurately.
Right?
yeah. Do you guys have the Vic Firth isolation headphones?
That'd be good.
Those
Yeah,
are
that's what I was
awesome.
thinking would be a good solution.
Ben Falcon was on the show and left his cans here, and I've got them somewhere if you want to use them tonight.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, they've been here for a while. You can come pick them up anytime. But they're amazing. Yeah, you can hear like that click track, and you don't have to blast yourself away.
I use earbuds, so like I have studio headphones, but I'll use earbuds and then put the headphones over it, and so the earbuds are basically like earplugs, and then the headphones are like another layer of noise isolation, and they also kind of hold everything in sort of. But I find a lot of success with that when I'm not too lazy to do that. Because it's not as much fun as listening to it on nice headphones.
I've really been loving my in-ears monitors. I got some Shure SE 215s, which is like the bottom end of their professional line, and man, it's been doing the job for me.
Does everyone in the band have those?
As of a few weeks ago, everyone in the band.
I know Miles has some.
Are they all using Shures?
No, we got a blend of really nice and really shitty and middle of the road.
Yeah, I was thinking about I didn't love my Shures. I've got the same pair, I think, but they just don't fit in my ears the way that I want them to.
Specifically my right ear. It doesn't want to stay in.
Oh,
Funky shaped.
Got an oddball ear.
Yeah, tracking drums, listening. Do you guys protect, not like use the earplugs when you're at a show, like out in public at loud areas?
No. I've gone through phases of always wearing earplugs, buying really nice ones, hating them, buying really shitty ones, the foam ones, and they're just fine. But then you gotta constantly be buying foam earplugs because they get all gross real fast, you know.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about his ears.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I wear earplugs in practice, but not when I'm playing a show because I feel like I can't hear it as well. So I'm like this amount. My theory is that it's a matter of time that you're exposed to sound. So I'm just saying, well, that's less time. I'm just going to get a little more hearing damage because I've already got like my ears ring a little bit. You know, I've talked to people who are like, much younger than me, who are like already kind of thinking about, Andrew Delson's talking about how his ears already ring and he's, wearing earplugs. And
That
I
dude
think
shreds too.
Oh, yeah.
He wants, I'm sure he wants that loud sound.
I have a decibel reader on my cell phone. I don't know how accurate it is.
I use that. Yeah.
Oh, it tells you how you've done with your sound.
Well, it's a real-time meter of how loud it is, and it also shows you what's comparable to the different levels. I sat it next to me at rehearsal one time, and it was chilling around 116, 117 decibels.
Wow.
Seems loud. Yeah.
That's like a jet engine.
A jet engine's 120, right?
It is a logarithmic scale.
I clocked on stage at Shikori Hills Festival one time at 127 decibels.
See, that's why, because Miles is the other guy who was like, I needed to do something. That's why.
Yeah. I got a sub for the studio recently, and that's more like deceptive, because I can crank that up and feel like my clothes shake, and that feels good, and then check the decibels, like because it sort of sneaks up on you. It's not.
That's more like your internal organs are going to bleed or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you got to get it out, get the impurities out somehow.
Oh man. I was at this festival in South Carolina called Blackstock sometime. It was like 2013 or something. The headliner was Dopapod, and I don't know if you've ever listened to their music before, but their bass is sick, and it has an awesome tone. So sick. It's so wowy, and the venue for this festival had so many PA speakers. I mean, 4 arrays across the stage, and the subs were touching all the way across the length of the stage. There were so many subwoofers.
All right.
Dopapod came out, and they dropped this like crazy sick bass note, and I saw from the back of the crowd at least 5 people like run, wade their way out of the crowd, and puke at the same time.
Wow.
It was amazing.
The green note.
Talking about having power on stage.
So, you want the audience reaction.
I wanted to be a visceral reaction.
You can do that with a strung up subwoofer.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I wonder if the bassist noticed and if he felt good about that.
I mean, if so, it's probably every show, right? I mean, it's not just that show.
I mean, that was this guy's doing this really ridiculous PA system. They probably don't have that every show.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't bring...
It starts to bring up legal questions at that point. Like, is he culpable if someone has bleeds out inside?
It was outside in a big field. They could have backed up.
Right. Well, they did. Right.
Yeah, they did.
Not quick enough.
A little too late.
I haven't been to a festival like that in a long time. I guess you guys are playing a lot of those. Do you get to like hang out?
Yeah. There's even a few a year that we ask our booking agent specifically not to book anything else that weekend so we can hang out.
Yeah.
Shikori Hills out in Pittsburgh is one of them. It's a great event. If you've never been, highly recommend it. Yeah.
The other thing, the other consideration is that there are a lot of drunk people there. It could have been a coincidence.
I mean, it could have been.
Do you think
Or
if they
two
were
things together, you know,
do,
like woozy, drunk.
do you think it's probable that they were like beer drunk and the carbonation got vibrated?
Oh, yeah.
And like shook up like
Yeah,
when you shook up a
cavitation
beer
or whatever.
This
Yeah.
event was sponsored by Sweetwater and Jack Daniels, so I mean,
There you go. Yeah.
Conspiracy.
do with that what you will.
Yeah, I think audiences, I mean, most music venues are closely hand in hand with drinking, right? People go out and drink and watch music. Are there any venues in town that don't have a bar that people go to?
I don't know how they make money. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe like an ice cream, but you could have like an ice cream parlor slash.
The Hop does
Yeah.
some shows. I think they let some high school bands from Asheville Music School play.
Do you guys remember the venue called The Garage?
Oh, so vaguely.
It was right down the street from here, actually, right off Sweeten Creek.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember that.
That place served alcohol. They had a bar, but they would keep their shows going until 7, 9 in the morning, and they would just stop serving booze at 2 and start serving coffee. And I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe some scrambled eggs.
An oxygen bar.
An oxygen bar.
Just
Yeah.
get you ready for work.
What's the latest you guys have stayed out recently? Like, did you do anything for New Year's? Maybe that's a better go-to question.
I didn't go out in New Year's.
We had a 2-deck run in Wrightsville Beach, the Palm Room.
Okay, cool.
That was probably a pretty late night.
Yeah, that's a pretty late night. Played in Myrtle Beach last weekend. Got to bed around 8 in the morning.
That's great. I can't imagine. I would be wrecked for like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have that constitution.
It's a marathon, and it's taken years to get used to.
Build up that stamina.
But here I am.
Do you? I mean, touring must wear on you. You must have to time those late nights for. Like, I'm sure you can't do that if you're like.
Yeah, I got a formula. I
few in a
can
row.
get 2 or 3 nights, 2 or 3 hours of sleep, 2 or 3 nights a week. As long as I get 10 or 12 or 14 hours, 2 or 3 nights a week. You know, there's a sleep debt that has to be paid.
Okay, you got like a weekly circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I've got, except for it's like 8 or 9 hours a night. That's my sleep debt. I like to get to bed by 11:30.
11:30. Wow. I'm I'm trying to get in bed at 9.
Oh wow.
And read and fall asleep by 10, but usually it's more like 9:30.
I don't think I've been in bed before midnight in years.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. I wake up super early though. I front load my day. Which is one of the ways that I combated, like, you know, just not being able to get everything done that I wanted to do, you know, pouring all of those hours in on my album happened like super early in the morning. I found like that's the only time I can get to it, or I get distracted by work or socializing or other things like that. Technical difficulties on a live stream, you know.
As long as you're not singing. Singing's not good in the morning.
I'm not recording yet, but I do sing quite a lot, but it does get scratchy. Then I just drink some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wondered why, you know, there were never any morning shows. I mean, I've seen that there have been.
Did you ever go to those bluegrass brunches they used to have at the One Stop?
No.
The musicians always looked rough.
No, I think it's a fact that your voice improves in the day. during the day. So like the later the better. That's kind of what I've found.
I feel like I talk a lot through the day, and so like after I teach a bunch of lessons, my voice feels very weak, you know. So I don't know. Do you have? I often ask guests if you've had like a problem. Do you have a practical problem and solution, like something that really stumped you, that then you found a solution for that might serve as an educational hot tip?
I mean, I used to know how to make 10 tracks out of a 4-track recorder, but that knowledge is no longer useful.
I don't think so.
I still own a Tascam 4-track straight-to-cassette recorder.
I do too. I own mine.
Nice.
It was, yeah, those things are awesome. I mean, I don't use it anymore, but
I've got like a plug-in in Pro Tools that like is like a tape
It
emulator.
looks like that.
there was a time where I was like phasing. Like I don't really buy much now in terms of gear, but back then I bought even less. And so I would like record something, dub it out to a cassette tape, and then cue up both the tapes. And I've got my speed controller on the 4-track, you know, play both of them, and you can phase them by just like very slightly changing the speed.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I did a whole song like that, and sort of so like that way you can control the phase where it's like if you've got something that's building up or something, you just kind of like phase it in and phase it out.
That's slick. That's actually really cool. I'm sure that you could duplicate that on a digital system too somehow.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure how. To speed up and slow down the playing.
On the fly, I mean, yep.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that is something that is
Still have the
unique to
equipment to do
analog.
it, so hit me up. I'll dub it out on a cassette.
Nice. You mentioned phasing. When you're recording, do you go through all of the tracks and make sure that there's no phase cancellation happening? Scoot everything like microscopically?
Sometimes I want it to phase. Like, I have a real hard time getting my vocals to not be flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never really quite understood why that is. So that's why I double track most of my vocals. But occasionally I don't know to what effect, but like I'll take the vocal and double it, and then just take the one vocal and move it over just a little bit, so you can instantly hear like it kind of goes into the middle of your head, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that a lot.
And you pan each
Yeah,
a little bit?
or sometimes pan it, yeah, sometimes put like 30 milliseconds in between or something. Yeah, there are all sorts of tricks. I can't think of any right now.
I don't go through and check all the phasing, but I am aware of general common phasing issues and set myself up to avoid them. Like, for instance, with overheads, ideally, both of those microphones are the same distance from your snare drum.
Oh, okay. Why the snare drum in particular?
'Cause that's like the centerpiece of the kit. It's not what you're using their overheads to pick up the most, but it's what they're going to pick up the most other than the cymbals.
Mm-hmm.
I usually use one overhead, which eliminates the phasing problem.
It does.
But I have one point of the snare, and then usually I'll have... Because I found I didn't really need the stereo pair.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having the stereo pairs, just being able to make the kit wider.
Yeah. I'm always trying to narrow it a little bit in the mix because I don't know, the more space things take up, the more I have mixing problems, maybe. I don't know. I don't probably do anything normally, I imagine. But I don't have a lot of phasing problems because, I don't record anyone else, so it's always just, I mean, drums, there might be a little bit, right? But if I'm not recording with a live band where it's like I'm on the other side of the room.
Well, I was seeing this tip even, if you've got like a keys part and a guitar part and, a bass part, to go in and make sure that none of those waves are contradicting each other, across instruments or across recordings. And I haven't been doing that on any of my stuff. And when I do, I've tested it out, and I don't know if I notice very much of a difference.
I'm aware of like bass guitar and bass drum, for instance, sit in the same register frequency range.
Mm-hmm.
So you ideally want to give them a boost and the opposite of a boost.
Yeah,
you give them the opposite places so they have their own places to sit.
So you put the bass over here, the kick here, or vice versa, or something. Like an EQ, like EQing, and
I think the phasing would be weird there.
Yeah, I think, the frequencies are never going to line up. The article I was reading was talking about, like, on big downbeats, I guess, you just make sure, like, that moment, there's, the waves look as similar as possible. I thought that was interesting, but it could be one of those, like, nitty-gritty things that's just not worth the time to put into it. I opened up that pocket for the bass too, and I was doing it at 100 for the kick drum, and then putting the bass on either side of the kick drum. But then I realized that my kick drum was giving me this like dong, like an actual tone at 100 that I didn't like very much. So I brought it down to like 75. Do you guys have a sweet spot? Where do you put yours?
I don't know.
I gate a lot of things to keep them out of the mix. Like a snare, for instance. Sometimes just because I don't want the mix to be in the snare drum. I mean, I have no idea if people do this, but like I'll gate these close-ups so that like it rings out, but then it just fades down. So
that's pretty common. I notice a lot of when I'm traveling, a lot of house engineers will just do that to specifically like toms and kick drum. I don't always love it on my kick because I play pretty dynamically. Sometimes pretty quiet, a lot of times really loud. But they often set the gate to be sounding good when I'm playing real loud, and then when I go to play real quiet, it doesn't come through at all. That's not good.
Well, that's nice.
Oh yeah, because you're not quite hitting the threshold enough.
They measured the threshold the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is pretty commonplace to throw on drums. They do ring.
I guess the next level is to have a touring engineer that goes with you guys. Have you guys considered that? You've already got 6 people rocking in the band.
Yeah, we're close to that. Now that we have all our own gear, all our own stands and mics and cables that we're gonna bring with us everywhere on console, we actually have a handshake agreement with a guy who is a light designer. He has his own light rig. He's signed up to be an LD, and we asked him if he would be interested in also handling some of front of the house responsibilities, and he said yeah. So
okay, nice.
We might be hiring a double duty LD sound engineer.
I think that's exactly what you want. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Light show. I want to know more about that. And I feel like we're getting into it, talking technique and gear and stuff, and borderline learning from each other. But now it's time to cut that off and jam out. Do you guys have any hanging threads or any last thoughts or anything to plug?
Go see more shows.
Okay, great.
That's my plug.
More shows?
More shows.
More live
more shows. I was like, oh my god, is this something, a pop culture thing that I don't know?
Recreations.
Music. Being performed by people. Go see it.
Live.
Yeah.
Don't hang around in your underwear to catch the stream that night.
Yeah, except this stream.
Yeah. This stream, yeah. Well, you have no choice.
This one's live.
I mean, I guess you could charge tickets or whatever. But you don't have a bar in your basement, so it's...
No, but how would I make money?
subscribers.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, honestly, to have a little bar in your
Paid adverts.
A little bar that pulls out of the ceiling. Yeah, the paid adverts are coming. I'm accepting sponsors. Send sponsors, gongs, plugins. What was the other one?
Gigs.
And gigs. Yes.
There was one more thing. Oh yeah, gigs. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, gigs. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Ben New and Chris Tullar.
Thank you, Sam, for having
you.
for joining me for this real ramshackle episode of 8 Note. And now we're going to take a short break and jam. So if you're watching on Instagram, I'm going to turn off the feed, and you can find us on YouTube or Facebook or some other places. And we'll be right back. Thanks.
I'm pretty happy with my mix.
Short answer. Like a bird count for the night.
I'm a gassy guy, what can I say? All right, one in the bank. was being sarcastic. I am interested, but I'm more interested to see what you guys do with this. With what? gonna hop on keys?
I don't know. You want a rock, paper, scissors for it? What do you want? What would you rather play?
Bass.
Yeah, okay. So
You welcome
your background is guitar and trumpet mainly.
And then bass kind of comes with guitar to some extent.
I'm happy to hear you say that. Oh my god. Do you want another pair of headphones that aren't these ears?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You're welcome to use those.
Oh yeah, I forgot to stand I think that's probably better. Yeah, one of those all. I got the headphone in for today too.
Oh. So that was
There's like a lot of stuff that I was trying to implement all at once.
Oh, this can go. Oh, so here. Oh, is this all part of your in-ear thing? This guy here? That's part of your in-ear thing?
No, just the licks here.
Oh, okay.
I do have one just like it for myself.
So can I control me here? Or is this the full?
Yeah, there's a volume knob. Low and low.
Sound okay to you?
us.